My concern is that many properties in the northeast, particularly terrace properties, will struggle to get to the target EPC rate, which is going to become a C. So currently the legal requirement is E. So if a property is E rated, it is legally compliant. If it's below that, it legally can't be less. But the proposal is by 2028 for new tenancies and existing tenancies by 2030, we'd have to go to a C rating. Now, there are some terraces that could genuinely struggle without significant investment to do that. So this has been talked about for many years, and I do think the agenda is a good one, but my concern is, as landlords, on the small margins that we operate in the northeast, this could be really challenging for some of us to get to. So we need to just be aware that is coming. They're saying 2028. It's probably not as far as we think, given that we're coming up to 2025 now. But I do have a positive here. I did say there'd be opportunities and sort of positives out of the webinar. In that, AMRP has a number of partner organisations who deal with the Eco4 energy efficiency grant. This is where energy companies have to ring fence some of their profit and reinvest it in home improvements. So we have a number of partners who are running that scheme and can offer fully funded improvements to properties. They don't actually have to be tenanted. It does depend on the tenant's income, but the household can earn up to £30,000. So each property will be assessed on its own merit, and our partners would look at the EPC on the property. But to try and come to the end of the presentation on a slight positive, this is an offer we'll extend, and it's another one of my mitigations. So we've got all these challenges with the new legislation, but one of the things we can do, and this is a free offer that we will sort of present, is that we can refer landlords to our partner. What would happen? All we need is your name and contact details. We would refer to our partner. They would make contact. They would assess all EPCs for all of your properties, because every property is assessed on its own merit and its own challenges. So they assess EPCs. They come back having done the desktop and let you know if any are deemed eligible. If they are, a physical property survey would take place, and then they would tell you if the property is eligible for any physical. They call them measures, but let's call them energy improvements. So if you're an AMRP managed client, please don't worry about this. This exercise is being done, and a number of tenants have benefited from improvements to their properties. So if you're managed by us, for those managed properties, don't worry about it. If you have other properties that we don't deal with, please make contact, because we would refer those also. But if you're a client who's with another agent or perhaps self-managing, please feel free to make contact. I've put some contact details on the slide there for a number of team members in the office who are going to, as of tomorrow, if you may well have spoken to Maddie and Bailey, who invited you to tonight's event, but as of tomorrow, we will be ringing out our database and talking about this to landlords and extending this offer. So anyone who sort of register the details tonight will get ahead of the busy period that's going to come when we start ringing out. But if you would like your properties reviewed to see if they're eligible, either drop it in the chat, give details to Baxter, we'll make note of them, or email the two emails that were on the screen, and we would get you referred into the system and get your properties looked at. If I'm honest, I would do it anyway. It's a free process. All works are fully funded. It costs nothing to have the desktop assessment